We live in a world saturated with information, a constant bombardment of stimuli competing for our attention. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, lost in a sea of distractions and worries. Social media, the news, the pressures of daily life, everything seems to conspire to distract us from what really matters. But what if I told you there's a different path? An ancient philosophy that offers tools to navigate chaos with clarity and purpose. The Stoics, those thinkers of ancient Greece and Rome, taught us that the key to happiness and strength lies not in controlling the external world, but in mastering our own being. It's not about ignoring problems or becoming insensitive to suffering. It's about understanding that much of our pain arises from the way we interpret events, from our resistance to reality. The Stoics invite us to accept what we cannot change and to focus our energy on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, our response to the world. In this video series, we will explore the principles of Stoicism and how to apply them to our daily lives. We will learn to face adversity with courage, to live with purpose, and to cultivate inner peace in the midst of the storm. It's not about a magic solution, but about constant work of self-knowledge and discipline that can transform the way we live. Epictetus, an ancient slave-turned-Stoic philosopher, left us with a fundamental teaching. It is not what happens to you that bothers you, but how you interpret what happens. Think about it. Two people can experience the same event, but their reactions can be diametrically opposed. One may see it as a tragedy, a sign that the universe is against them, and sink into despair. The other, however, may see it as an opportunity to learn, to grow stronger, to find a new path. The difference lies in their interpretation, in their mental perspective. Much of our suffering comes from worrying about things beyond our control. Other people's opinions, the weather, the economy, traffic. It's like rowing against the current, an exhausting and ultimately futile battle. The Stoics invite us to accept reality as it is, without denying it, but without letting it dominate us. It's not about passive resignation, but practical wisdom. By accepting what we cannot change, we free up a lot of energy that we can redirect towards what we can influence: our attitude, our actions, our response to the world. Imagine two concentric circles. The inner circle represents what is under your control: your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. The outer circle represents what you cannot control: the past, other people's actions, external events. Most people waste their time and energy worrying about things in the outer circle. They obsess over the past, try to control others, and agonize over situations they cannot change. This only generates anxiety, frustration, and unhappiness. The Stoics, on the other hand, invite us to focus our attention on the inner circle. By concentrating on what we can control, on our own actions and responses, we regain personal power. We cannot control the wind, but we can adjust the sails. This does not mean we should ignore the outside world or become indifferent to the suffering of others. It means we should act wisely, distinguishing between what we can change and what we cannot. By focusing our energy on our own development, on being better people, on acting with integrity, we can have a positive impact on the world. I propose a simple but powerful exercise. Every morning, upon waking, ask yourself, what is under my control today? Reflect on your tasks, your interactions, your emotional responses. Identify the areas where you have the ability to choose, to act with intention. Then, throughout the day, remember to keep your focus on the circle of control. When you face a challenge, ask yourself, can I do something to change this situation? If the answer is yes, then act with determination. If the answer is no, then accept it and direct your energy towards something you can influence. Remember, it's not about being perfect, but about making progress. There will be times when you stray, when you fall into the trap of worrying about things you cannot control. Don't judge yourself. Simply recognize the mistake and refocus your attention on the inner circle. With constant practice, this exercise will help you cultivate inner peace, resilience, and personal freedom. It will allow you to navigate life's challenges with greater clarity, wisdom, and strength. Seneca, the renowned Stoic philosopher, wrote, "There is no favorable wind for the sailor who doesn't know where he is going." Without a clear direction, without a purpose that guides our actions, We become ships adrift, tossed about by the changing winds of fate and the opinions of others. Living without purpose is like wandering through a labyrinth without an exit, facing each day with the uncertainty of not knowing where we are going. We fall prey to instant gratification, seeking satisfaction in fleeting pleasures that quickly fade, leaving us with an even greater existential void. The Stoics understood the fundamental importance of having a clear and meaningful life purpose. It is not necessarily about a grand goal or changing the world, although it can be. It's about finding something that gives meaning to our existence, something that motivates us to get up every morning with energy and determination. It can be our family, our work, a social cause, the development of our talent, or simply the pursuit of knowledge and self-improvement. The important thing is that it is something that resonates with our deepest values, something that inspires us to give our best. Now, defining our purpose is only the first step. To move towards it, we need to cultivate discipline, that inner strength that allows us to act with constancy and determination, even when things get tough. Many times we associate discipline with restriction, with obligation imposed from the outside. But true discipline, Stoic discipline, is a form of liberation. By establishing routines, by training our mind and body, by resisting fleeting temptations, we free ourselves from the tyranny of our impulses and passing desires. Discipline allows us to take control of our time and energy, directing them towards what we truly value. It is the tool that allows us to build the life we want, brick by brick, with constant effort and perseverance. It's not about becoming automatons or living an ascetic life devoid of pleasure. It's about finding a balance, enjoying the pleasures of life without letting them control us, acting with moderation and wisdom. I propose a practical exercise. Take some time to reflect on your life purpose. Ask yourself, what do I really care about? What do I want to achieve with my life? What legacy do I want to leave? Write your answers in a journal and review them frequently. Don't worry if you don't have all the answers at first. Simply asking yourself these questions puts you on the right track. Once you have a clearer idea of your purpose, set a daily goal that brings you closer to it. It doesn't have to be something monumental. Even small steps count. The important thing is to act consistently, with the certainty that each effort brings you closer to the life you want. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, a man who carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Reflect on this, because in these words lies a profound existential truth. Life inevitably will present us with difficulties. It is the very nature of existence, a constant cycle of order and chaos. But it is precisely these challenges, these obstacles that stand in our way, that give us the opportunity to grow, to strengthen our character. A fallen tree blocks the path. Do you see it? Is it an impediment to our progress? Or could it be an opportunity to demonstrate our resilience, our ability to adapt? We can choose to see it as an insurmountable obstacle, or as a challenge to overcome, a call to action. Next time you face adversity, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Do not give up in the face of challenge, but see it as an opportunity to strengthen yourselves, to forge your spirit through the crucible of experience. Discomfort, failure, loss are inevitable elements of human existence. To deny them, to avoid them, is to deny reality itself. The Stoics, in their timeless wisdom, understood this. They did not seek a life free of difficulties, but a life full of meaning, and meaning is often found in confronting and overcoming adversity. Think of a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal, initially rough and imperfect, is heated red-hot in the fire of adversity, is repeatedly struck with the hammer of discipline, is tempered in the cold water of reality. Each blow, each exposure to fire, makes it stronger, more resistant, more capable of withstanding the rigors of combat. We, like metal, are nothing more than a raw material with the potential to be something greater. But that potential can only be realized through the refining process, through resistance, through confrontation with what challenges us. Do not fear adversity then, but embrace it. Use it as a tool for your own growth, as a teacher who will teach you valuable lessons about resilience, determination, and the strength of the human spirit. Now, I'm not telling you to seek unnecessary suffering. It's not about masochism, but about training. So, I propose an exercise, a Stoic practice to strengthen your character. Voluntarily face small discomforts. Deprive yourself of a trivial pleasure for a day, like social media. Let the discomfort of abstinence teach you about the fleeting nature of desire and instant gratification. Take a cold shower, experience the visceral discomfort of the icy water, and observe how your mind tries to reject it. By deliberately facing these small discomforts, you will be training your mind and body to withstand adversity with greater fortitude. You will be building internal armor, an inner fortress that will protect you when the storms of life inevitably hit. Remember, this type of discipline is not about self-flagellation, but about self-improvement. It is about building a strong, resilient character capable of facing life's challenges with courage and determination. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, with its constant demands and endless distractions, it's easy to get lost in the whirlwind of the superficial. We rush from one task to another, consume information without truly digesting it, and rarely stop to think about our actions, our motivations, our progress. The Stoics, however, understood the vital importance of introspection. They knew that true personal growth, the development of a virtuous character, requires constant and sincere self-examination. It's not about destructive self-criticism, but about an objective and constructive analysis of our actions and decisions. Seneca, the Roman Stoic, left us a simple yet powerful practice, the daily examination. Every night, before going to sleep, he would ask himself a series of questions. Where did I fail today? What did I do well? What can I improve? These seemingly simple questions hold the key to continuous personal progress. They force us to face our shortcomings, acknowledge our mistakes, but also to celebrate our successes and identify areas for improvement. For many, the practice of daily examination becomes easier by writing. Keeping a journal, recording our thoughts, emotions, and experiences can be a very valuable tool for self-knowledge and personal growth. It's not about keeping a detailed record of every insignificant event, but about capturing key ideas, lessons learned, and areas that need attention. The very act of writing, of putting our thoughts on paper, forces us to organize them, to give them shape and coherence. By writing, we can observe behavior patterns, identify recurring trends, and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. Imagine for a moment the possibility of having an honest and direct conversation with yourself, without filters, without excuses. The journal becomes that safe space, that silent confidant where we can explore our deepest thoughts and emotions without fear of being judged. There is no right or wrong way to keep a Stoic journal. What matters is consistency, honesty, and the desire to learn from our experiences. Life is not a destination, it's a journey. It's not about reaching perfection, an utopian and unattainable state, but about constantly moving forward on the path of progress. Each day gives us a new opportunity to learn, to grow, to become a better version of ourselves. The practice of daily examination, whether by writing or personal reflection, helps us stay on that path, to not stray into the paths of stagnation and complacency. It's not about seeking constant criticism, but about cultivating an attitude of continuous improvement. At the end of each day, we can ask ourselves, have I lived this day according to my values? Have I taken advantage of opportunities to learn and grow? Have I treated others with respect and compassion? These questions, far from overwhelming us, empower us. They remind us that we have control over our actions, that we can choose to be better every day. It's not about reaching perfection, but about constantly moving towards the best version of ourselves. We've reached the end of this journey through the principles of Stoicism, a timeless philosophy that continues to resonate strongly in the modern world. But remember, Stoicism isn't simply a collection of abstract ideas. It's a practice, a way of life. I urge you not to just listen to these words, but to put them into practice. Control what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your responses to adversity. Live with purpose, clearly defining your values and acting accordingly. Face life's inevitable challenges with strength and determination, remembering that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. And finally, dedicate time each day to reflection, to examining your actions and decisions, always seeking continuous improvement. Don't seek perfection, seek progress. As the Stoics would say, live with virtue and the rest will follow.